Hey, in today's video, we're going to talk about contrast in your coloring and why it matters. Hey, welcome to my channel. I help women over 40, women just like you, have fun with fashion and feel confident in their style. So for those of you who don't know, I have been a personal stylist for many years, and I've been in the fashion industry my entire career. First as a fashion editor and a beauty editor at magazines, a fashion columnist. I wrote a beauty book, and then I took that fashion experience and became a personal stylist and started working one-on-one with clients. So I've been working one-on-one with clients for many years, and I have done a lot of color and contrast analyses for clients all over the world from all different backgrounds. And I just love this stuff. This to me is like my happy place. And just to give you a quick distinction, the difference between a stylist like me and an influencer is that a stylist's job is to help other women look and feel their best. An influencer, really, their job is to show you what they look cute in and what they found and what they love, but not necessarily give you the perspective of, well, what's going to look good on you, what is going to work for you. So a stylist has a different level of interest in you looking amazing. And that's what I'm here for. I absolutely love helping women feel really confident in how they put themselves out there and present themselves, because I think that's so critical. And that's just something that I feel so honored to get to do. So contrast is something that we don't really hear that much about. There are a couple of channels on YouTube that talk a little bit about contrast. There are a couple of blogs that talk a little bit about contrast. And so I just want to put my 2 cents in, because I feel like it can get overcomplicated, and we can start making these little aha moments or these strategies and tips that we get. We can start turning them into rules where we have to follow them like a science, or they don't work. And really, this is going to offer you a different way of looking at your coloring and maybe figuring out why some things in your wardrobe work better than others and what you can do to tweak that, right? So just think of it as another tool in your toolbox and not the be all and end all. I love talking about contrast because, like I said, it's something a lot of women don't really know about. When they learn about it, they really have that kind of aha moment. So what is contrast? Contrast, simply put, and the contrast I'll be talking about today, is really just the difference between the lightest color on you and the darkest color on you. So if you look at me, and especially if you look at me in black and white, like in this picture, you'll see that my hair is really dark and my skin is relatively light. So if I were to put my face next to a grayscale, so a grayscale basically measures the different shades of gray, right? From pretty much white to black and all the different shades in between. So somebody's contrast is measured by how far along on that grayscale they go. So if your darkest color, like my hair color and my eye color, is at the dark end of the grayscale, like mine is, so towards the end there, and then your skin color, like mine is more medium, not super light, but more medium, then I would be halfway down the grayscale. So my coloring would go from this dark end to the middle end of the grayscale. That would put me at a medium contrast in my coloring. So my coloring does not go from very dark to very light. It goes from very dark to medium. And because I go halfway down that grayscale, I am medium contrast. So most women, if you have to guess, if you're really not sure what your contrast level is, medium is a safe place for most women. Most women can wear medium contrast clothing, medium contrast patterns, medium contrast outfits, and look beautiful in them, flattered by them, and not overpowered by that level of contrast. So when in doubt, medium contrast works for almost everybody. I happen to be medium contrast. A lot of women happen to be medium contrast. I'm probably medium to maybe a little bit on the higher side, because there is really kind of a stronger distinction between my hair color and my skin color, but medium to high is a safe place to put me. So medium contrast, when in doubt, works for everybody. So let me give you a couple of examples of beautiful celebrities that you have seen, and you can see their contrast level at work. So these are celebrities that are in black and white so that you can kind of see the difference between their lightest and their darkest coloring. And that's what I recommend when you're doing it for yourself. Take a grayscale like the one I showed you, print it out or put it up next to your face on your phone, and really look at what your face looks like in black and white next to the grayscale. What is your lightest color in your coloring? What is your darkest color in your coloring? That's what you're going to look at. So I'm going to show you Jennifer Connelly. There are two pictures of her here in black and white. She's just beautiful, 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 beautiful. And as you can see, she has that gorgeous fair, fair, fair complexion and those dark, 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 that dark hair and the dark brows and dark lashes. So even though she has blue eyes, you see that really high contrast, right, between her very fair skin and her very dark hair. So if you can look at the picture up here, you'll see in black and white what a stark contrast there is between the very light, which is at the very light end of the grayscale, and the very dark, which is at the very dark end of the grayscale. She is high contrast. Here's another picture of her that also illustrates that. Beautiful, high contrast coloring. So a high contrast person can wear high contrast prints and high contrast color combinations better than anyone else. So they wear black and white together beautifully. Black and white stripes, black and white graphic prints. Any high contrast color combination works really, really well on someone with high contrast coloring like Jennifer Connelly. Okay, let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's look at Jennifer Aniston. If you look at Jennifer Aniston, all of her coloring is very, very blended, right? There is very little difference between her hair color and her skin color, even her eye color. Everything just has this harmonious, muted, and blended quality in her coloring. And if you were to put her next to the next to the grayscale, you would notice that everything on her is in that same medium range. She's got medium hair, medium eyes, and medium skin, right? Not a lot of contrast there. She is very low contrast and very muted. So because of her coloring, I would really recommend that she would go with lower contrast. Not that Jennifer Aniston has asked for my fashion advice, but she always looks amazing, but lower contrast looks are going to be a lot more flattering for her. So prints that are like tone on tone, colors that are close to each other on the color wheel. She could wear like, yellow and orange together or whatever, black and gray together, but colors that are close to each other on the color wheel as opposed to colors that are opposite each other on the color wheel. Those are going to be more analogous colors. They're going to be closer to each other. They're going to have less contrast from each other, and they're going to be more flattering on somebody with low contrast coloring like Jennifer Aniston. Okay. Again, all these people are so beautiful. Okay, the next person I want to mention is Sandra Bullock. So Sandra Bullock, also beautiful, but look at her coloring. She is somewhere between Jennifer Connelly and Jennifer Aniston. Sandra Bullock has medium contrast coloring. So if you see her in this picture in black and white, you'll see that, like me, she's got really dark hair and dark eyes and medium skin tone. So that, on the grayscale, you've got the dark and the medium. She's going halfway down instead of going to the other end. So she has got that medium contrast color. Okay, like anybody else with medium contrast coloring, Sandra Bullock will look her best in medium contrast prints. I happen to be wearing a medium contrast. This is almost a low contrast print actually that I'm wearing here because these colors are all so close together. They're all darker and they're all in that same kind of family with the exception of the black. But this is more of a muted print. But if you were going to look at the color wheel, for example, Sandra Bullock and other people with medium coloring, you could do blue and purple or blue and green together way better than you could do blue and yellow, which is a lot more high contrast. So when you go to the opposite end of the color wheel, you've got more contrast. When you go within this range, you've got more medium contrast. And when you go to the colors that are right next to the color you're looking at on the color wheel, then you've got low contrast in your prints or in your outfits. Someone who wanted to wear green and was low contrast, they could build an outfit around these colors. Someone who wanted to wear green and they were higher contrast, they could go straight for the red or the orange over there and get a higher contrast look. Okay, so that's one of the reasons that contrast really matters in your coloring, because it really helps you put together outfits that don't eclipse you, that don't walk into a room ahead of you, that don't hide your beauty because they're so out there and they're so shocking that they kind of look separate from you or apart from you, right? You want the clothes that you wear to harmonize with your coloring. And that's really what contrast level helps us do. It just gives us another tool to figure out what is harmonious on our coloring and what is not as harmonious on our coloring. So almost everybody can wear, like I said, the medium contrast prints and medium contrast outfits. Someone who has low contrast, like Jennifer Aniston, can go from low to medium contrast in their outfits. Someone who has high contrast, like Jennifer Connelly, can go from high to medium contrast in their outfits. And those of us who are medium contrast can really have fun trying some of the lower contrast looks and trying some of the higher contrast looks and seeing kind of where our happy spot is or where our sweet spot is in terms of contrast. So use this guideline and these tools when you're putting together an outfit, whether it's, two pieces and you're looking at a color blocked outfit. Maybe you've got a white top and black bottoms. That's a high contrast look. Maybe you've got hot pink and red. That's more of a medium contrast. So looking at how you put together outfits that way, but then also looking at how you choose prints that, especially prints that are going to be close to your face. Are those prints medium, high, or low contrast? How far apart are the colors of the prints? If you were to put that print in black and white, how far apart are they on the grayscale? So I hope that was helpful. I know I covered a lot and I could go on and on about contrast. You can tell I'm passionate about this. Do you have any questions about your contrast? This video actually came requested from a number of people in my private Facebook group. I love talking about this stuff with you. Like I said, I geek out over talking about color, style, body type, all of these topics. They're near and dear to my heart as a stylist, and it's one of the reasons I love what I do. So thanks again for everything. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to comment. Let me know what you thought about contrast, whether you know your own personal contrast or whether you're struggling to figure it out. Let me know in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's also carry this conversation into the Facebook group and continue talking about contrast. Again, love talking about this, and we could go on and on about it. So thanks again, and don't forget to hit the notification bell if you haven't already so that you find out when I upload new videos every Tuesday and every Friday. Talk to you later.